Okay, so today we are starting section 5-2, angles and perpendicular lines on page 198. And we're going to do quite a bit of vocabulary before we start. So this should all be a review from 10th grade geometry class. But a ray is, it has an endpoint on one end and an arrow on the other. So it has a starting point and then it goes on forever in the other direction, the end that has the arrow on it. And to name a ray, we're going to use two letters and the ray symbol above the two letters. So you're just going to put one arrow, and you're always going to start naming the ray with the endpoint. That's going to be your first letter. So this ray would be called EF. Go ahead and write that down. And then the next one that we have are opposite rays. Now opposite rays are also called lines because it goes on forever in both directions. To name our opposite rays, again, we're going to start with this middle point because that would be the end point of each ray. So I'm going to call this ray BA and ray BC. Start at the end point and go out from there to name the rays. For our angle, hopefully you guys remember that to name an angle, we use a little angle symbol and then we use three letters. The vertex always has to be the middle letter when you're naming the angle. Okay, so you're going to start at one of your ends. It doesn't matter which end. Keep the vertex in the middle. So this would be angle KLM. And then sometimes you'll see that they put a number right there with a little arc. So if you see the arc with the number, you can also call the angle by that number. So we can call it angle 2, which is a lot shorter and easier to do. Okay, and then if I wanted to tell what the measure of this angle is, I would say, hold on, I would say the measure, little m for measure, of angle KLM is 40 degrees. And that's how you would write that. And then the last thing to remember is the vertex. So the vertex is going to be your middle point on your angle. Okay? All right, so our next two words are complementary angles and supplementary angles. And complementary angles are two angles that add up to equal 90 degrees. And supplementary angles are two angles that add up to equal 180 degrees. So for complementary, you're always going to see this little box in the corner because they equal 90. And for supplementary, the angles are always going to be on a straight line because that equals 180 degrees. All right, so adjacent angles means they're next to each other. Adjacent means next to. So if you're talking about adjacent angles, you're going to name two angles that are touching each other, that share a common ray. So the ray that's being shared in this one would be this middle line. Both angles are touching that ray, so they are adjacent to each other. And then congruent angles means that they have the same measure. Congruent means same. They're equal. So if I have two angles that are both 40 degrees, they are congruent to each other. So number 8 is perpendicular lines. Perpendicular means what? Anybody remember?
Parallel. Nope.
Parallel is the opposite of perpendicular. Parallel means they run next to each other, they never
straight
touch.
Across each other, they touch.
So perpendicular means they touch, but they meet at a specific angle. What angle?
90-degree angle.
Look at the picture. What degrees is that angle? 90. Good, Bradley. Perpendicular lines meet at 90-degree angles. So immediately when you see that little square in the corner, you know that all four of those angles are 90 degrees. Because if one is 90, they're all 90. All right, and then vertical angles are angles that are across from each other. For example, oh no. Okay, hold on, I had the eraser on. So vertical angles are angles that are across from each other, like this. Angle 1 is a vertical angle with angle 2 because they are across from each other. Angle 3 is a vertical angle with angle 4 because they are across from each other, okay? They sit opposite of each other. All right, that's all the vocab, and then I'll come back with some examples. So on this section, it says, name the complement and the supplement of each angle. So complementary means they equal how many degrees? 90. So to find the complement of this angle that's 14 degrees, I'm just going to subtract it from 90. So 6, 7. So the complement, we'll call it the C, is 76 degrees to that angle. And the supplement, how much is a supplementary angle add up to?
No, 30.
180.
Oh yeah.
Remember, straight line.
Yeah.
And so then we'll just subtract the 14 from the 180 and see how much is left over. So again, if I subtract, really? Supplementary angle would be 166 degrees, okay? So that's it. You're just subtracting it from 90 and then subtract it from 180, and that'll give you the answers for both of those. So I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to let you guys try them on your own. So this one, we'll do 90 minus 47, and we'll do 180 minus 47. And you could use your calculator if you want.
Oh, where did you get the 81 7?
Yeah. Okay, so then to do the next one, same thing. I'm just regrouping here. 3 and 133. So the supplementary angle will be 133. Try the next two on your own, and then I'll be right back with how to do it correctly, or the correct answers. Okay, so here's the answers to numbers 3 and 4. You just subtract from 90, subtract from 180. That gives you the complement and the supplement of each of those angles. So for a minute. Okay, so on number 5, it says, look at this figure that's in the book, and then name all the right angles. So I see one right angle right here, right?
Yep.
But remember I said if there's one, then all the rest of them that are connected are going to be right angles as well. So to name those right angles, we're going to do angle FGB, that's the first one. Then also angle FGE is the right angle. And notice that I'm putting the vertex of each angle in the middle. The vertex has to be in the middle. EGC is a right angle, and BGC is a right angle. And number 6 says, name a pair of vertical angles. So remember, vertical angles are opposite of each other. Okay, so they are like this angle is opposite of this angle. So I'm going to name those two for my vertical angles. So that would be angle AGF and angle CGD. Notice they share the G in the middle because I'm using the same vertex for vertical angles. So number 7 says find the measure of angle AGB. So I need to see what angle AGB equals. So let me find angle AGB first of all. A, G, and B. Okay, so that's this one right here. They want to know how big this angle is. So question, if this angle is 20 right here, that I'm shading in, how much is this angle? 20 also, because they're vertical angles and vertical angles are equal. Good job, Christian.
See, I don't even need to take notes.
Yeah. So they want me to find the measure of AGB, which is this yellow angle that I outlined. But I see, I'm running out of colors to highlight in. I see this right angle thing right here in the corner, so I know that's 90. So if I do 90 minus 20, that will give me how big that yellow angle is, angle AGB. So 90 minus 20 is 70. So this angle equals 70. Okay? And number 8 says find the measure of BGC. So let me highlight again. BGC is this angle right here. And we know already that that equals 90. Okay? Because we named it up top in number 5. Right there. All right, so for the last section, it's going to ask me to find what x equals, and it's going to give me various drawings and ask me to find the missing angle. So what type of angle is this with the red square in the corner? 90, good. So what do I do to find x?
90 minus 53.
Excellent, good job. 90 minus 53 will tell me how much x equals. So I'm just regrouping here. 37. X equals 37. Okay. And so, for example, the next one in the book is this type of angle. And so 56 and x. So what would you subtract 56 from to find that angle?
90. 180.
180, yes. So this angle is 180. So you just do 180 minus 56, and that would give you x. Okay? That's all for today, and I'll see you next time.